at a temple, and then Friday nights, and we'd walk on the beach, and we'd make out a little bit, and we started making out a lot. And I was thinking, should I be like Ron Paul and not intervene, or should I attempt a military conquest? So I pulled out my gun and I said, "Baby."
All right, way to take the show into the toilet.
I need a drink.
All right. So that's all I got to say on this Ron Paul fella. I don't think a Jew can vote for him. I mean, I know a Jew cannot vote for Ron Paul because, first of all, the Jew probably wouldn't even be alive if Ron Paul had its way. So it's absurd to say, yeah, I think it's really great because his ideas are really good. I like his visions. Yeah, well, he has great visions for America, but in Ron Paul's America, you would not be part of it, okay? You are not part of his vision. If your family was not in the United States prior to World War II and you're a Jew, you are not part of his vision. You are dead. You don't exist. So for you to vote for this guy, it defies all common sense. It's absurd. If your friends are Jewish and they only exist here because Ron Paul wasn't in office in 1940, it's absurd to vote for this guy because it's like saying, I don't care about my Jewish friends. I wish they were dead and never been born. Okay? That's what we're talking about. This is really basic, folks. Really basic. Let me break it down for you. This is really basic. Right? If your rabbi or your friends your lineage came to America after World War II, they wouldn't be alive today. Okay, so that's, some Jews just don't get it, right? There's Jews that actually want this Ron Paul fella, and I just don't get it, how they can apologize for him. You know what I'm saying? You cannot, if you're Jew. Now, if you're non-Jew, it's fine. You want to vote for the guy? Fine. So then you're basically saying, I'm fine with only 2 million Jews on the world. We don't need so many Jews. It's like FDR said it, right? There's just too many Jews out there. Basically, you're mimicking Hitler's propaganda. There's too many Jews in the world. It would be better if, let's just focus on the United States. Other countries want to kill the Jews. That's good. But you know what? If you don't think the Jews are worth saving, let me just say this. If you have a Facebook account, please close it right now because Facebook was invented by a Jew and owned by a Jew today. Okay? If you don't think that the Jews are worth saving when they're not in your country, if you don't think that the Jews in the state of Israel are worth saving, then don't use IM anymore. Please, shut down your IM accounts. Don't enter Instant Message because Instant Messenger was invented by a Jew living in the state of Israel. Okay? So don't be a hypocrite. Let's face it, you're either going to save the Jews or you're not. But if you are to take the attitude that you are not going to save Jews and we should not, as Americans, ever save Jews, then please shut down your Facebook and your IM account. Thank you.
So first I annexed Sudetenland, then I launched a blitzkrieg and I went right into Poland, and then I took over France and I started bombing across the channel.
well put. All right, so now there's a question to me from the chat room, and it is, Rabbi, do you believe? Faith asks this. Ron Paul is a true libertarian. Yeah, he's a libertarian to the extreme level. He's an extreme libertarian, just like there's a such thing as a liberal and an extreme liberal, right? And when you get to the extremes on both ends, that's when all the anti-Semitism takes place, and that's all the wingnut bat, moon batness takes place, and those are the extremes, and those are the things that always end up anti-Jewish. Okay? Jews don't need a revolution. There's so many parallels between the Ron Paul wackos and the lefty wackos, right? They both talk about, we need a revolution, and instead of hope and change, now there's liberty. That's going to be the new theme word, right? Jews don't need a revolution, okay? We're doing quite fine, status quo, the way it is here in America. America's been good to us. The way it's been, let's keep it the way it is. No revolution. Thank you. Revolutions don't end well for Jews. There was a revolution in Russia. There's been several revolutions in Russia, and they never go well for the Jews. Okay? So let's put away the words revolution. Anyone who talks about revolution is somebody that Jews need to be nervous about, because revolution is not what we need in America. What we need is status quo. quo.
You say you want a revolution. Oh no, count me out. Say you want to change the Constitution.
All right. All right, so we're good on that. So we handled that pretty well. You have any questions? Do you have anything else on that?
No, it's like a quandary that I face, frequently. Like I meet a girl, I go, "Do I really want to intervene here?
Yeah.
I mean, why can't I just respect her boundaries? Why can't I just say, okay, she has dominion over this piece of real estate, and she's an autonomous human being, and she's got her boundaries and limits, and why can't I just respect her sovereignty?" And then other times it's like, oh, I just cannot rest unless I invade this girl and take her over.
Okay.
Like I have to militarily intervene. I have to go in. I have to conquer. And so sometimes I'm Ron Paul and sometimes I'm Newt Gingrich. And it's like a constant quandary. Like, when do I intervene? Across boundaries. When do I launch an invasion, and when do I just respect her, autonomy and sovereignty? And I haven't really come to a. I guess the answer I've come to is that I really should only intervene when she invites me to. Says, Levi, come take over, Paris, and we'll sign a treaty together. And
are you quite done?
I think so.
All right. Let's talk about a few words of Torah, and we can get back into the other stuff, because people tune in for Torah. It's been a half hour. So I wanted to tell you that there's been some questions that came in from our viewers, and I wanted to answer them tonight.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
And one of them will lead to a little discussion. How's that?
Fantastic.
Okay. First question is from our viewer, Abe's. Hey, Abe, say hello to Abe's lady. Hey,
Abe's, labia.
Abe's asked a question, and he asked, because we were talking about Tamar and Yehuda. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that story?
Yeah.
We're talking about the levirate marriage business. So Abe's had a question on that video, and he wanted me to address it. And the question he had is, he doesn't understand why, after died, Yehuda had two sons, Onan and right? And it says that died, and that meant Onan had to marry.
I thought he had three sons.
My three sons?
I thought Onan was the third. That was why he didn't want to.
Oh, is that right? Well, the point was that.
No. Yeah, go ahead.
Died.
Yeah, then Onan didn't fulfill, and so God's.
Oh, you're right. There was three sons.
Yeah.
But somebody died, and then
No, died. Then Onan didn't fulfill, and so God killed him.
Right.
And then Yehuda said, "Oh, I don't want my youngest."
Right. So the question he had was, why did Onan go for
spill his seed on the dusty soil?
Why did he go for exactly instead of he could have just gotten a chalitza? Right. Exempt yourself by pounding the shoe like Khrushchev, right? So we know about chalitza. We talked about it a few weeks ago. Why didn't he? That's how you get out of levirate marriage. Why did he go? Why did he allow himself to be killed? Just do chalitza and get yourself out. I thought it was a great question. Here's the answer. The answer is exactly. He should have done chalitza. He knew about it. The option was there for him, but nevertheless, he said, "Oh, I don't need chalitza because I'm so good at this. I'll practice coitus interruptus, right? I'll do the pull-out method, right? And she'll never get pregnant, right? I'll just stick it in, pull it out, right? She doesn't get pregnant. I don't have a kid with her because I don't want to have a kid with her." Apparently, all the brothers knew that she was like a raging bitch, right? Like Tamar was like, you don't want to have kids with her. Right, because she'll screw up the kids. She's like this wicked woman. So it was like, I don't want to have kids with her. So I'll just I'll go for a few screws and I'll do coitus interruptus, and that's why God killed him, because he should have done chalitza. So the answer, Abe's, is he knew about chalitza. He chose not to. He chose to do a coitus interruptus instead, and that's why he was killed. Go ahead. Now you're going to tell us about how you did coitus interruptus.
Oh, I remember I met this girl, and she said. She was serious too. She